According to Jungkook's answer at MBTA Lab 2, it was known that Jungkook didn't allow his friend to help his significant one.
때리면 안 되죠?
그거 아니야?
안 돼.
왜? 안 돼.
왜 깻잎 한 장 때리다가 손도 잡고
왜 손도 맞추고?
눈도 맞추고
그러다가 집
그러다가 나중에 결혼하는 거예요. 난 안 돼. 안 돼. 떼줄 수.
So it means he's a very possessive, even didn't let his friend help his significant one. And for me, the possessiveness of Jungkook really matched with what always happens to Taekook. Let's prove it by comparing between Taekook and other members. This is from around 2016. See Jungkook's reaction when everyone play scolding Jimin and surrounding Jimin. Jungkook was calm. He didn't care. He continued to eat with Taehyung without feeling jealous or anything. In fact, as we know, Jungkook has zero tolerance if this is related to his significant one. So, if everyone play and surrounding Jimin like this and Jungkook isn't even angry or caring, in my opinion, this is clear that Jimin is not his significant one. How do you think? Then, we see what happens with Taehyung. In here, Jimin and Yoongi play pretending with Taehyung and we see Jungkook's reactions. Really a different reactions between when the members surrounding Jimin and when the members surrounding Taehyung. We can see Jungkook more possessive to Boom, right? This is from Love Yourself Paris. In here, Jihoop and Jimin dancing with little bit intimate. Is Jungkook angry because of his possessiveness behavior? No. In here, he even danced with Taehyung, smile brightly. But in here, in Japan Magic Shop, when Taehyung tried to flirting with Jihoop, Jungkook's reaction immediately changed to possessive. He immediately separated Taehyung and Jihoop. Even though when in Paris, Jungkook didn't care about Jihoop and Jimin would dance very intently, but when Taehyung tried to flirting with Jihoop, Jungkook immediately exploiting them. So possessive. These moments both happened on stage, but when Jihoop and Jimin danced, Jungkook didn't care. But when Taehyung tried to flirting with Jihoop, he was directly possessive. From here, it was clear who is Jungkook very possessive with, right? What did Jungkook do with his possessive behavior on his significant one when he couldn't separate him with his friend? It's when Taehyung tried flirting with Jin, Jungkook couldn't separate them, which he can only do is make a really angry expression, sulky expression or jealous expressions. But when Jihoop and Jimin dancing and Jungkook couldn't separate them, Jungkook was very fine. He smiled very brightly. It's very clear who's Jungkook's significant one that he very possessive with, right? Another thing that proves Taehyung is Jungkook's significant one, not the other, is when Taehyung and Jimin were too close. Jungkook immediately separated. But when Jimin flirting with Yoongi, Jungkook doesn't need to separate them. Why? Because both Jimin or Yoongi are not his significant one who he need to be possessive with, of course. If anyone feels Jungkook doesn't separate Yeonmin because this is part of their songs, then I think the reason is not it. On So What, when Taehyung flirting, We all know Jungkook always tries to separate them. Jungkook is always in their midst. Jungkook tried to ruin their flirting, and that's always happened. Why? Even though like what happened to Yeonmin, this was part of their songs. But on Yeonmin, Jungkook didn't separate them. But with Taejin, Jungkook couldn't accept it. Can't you see who Jungkook Significant one from here? When Yeonmin flirting, Jungkook didn't interrupt them. But when Femin flirting, Jungkook had to interrupt them. When Namjoon flirting, Jungkook just remained silent in the middle like a good child who was with his parents. But when Femin flirting, Jungkook couldn't stand when Jimin touched Taehyung. Still doesn't understand who is Jungkook Significant one. There are so many moments show that Jungkook isn't possessive, jealous, or concerned if it's not Taehyung. Right with his words, he didn't let his friends touch his significant one.
거 아니야?
안 돼.
왜 안 돼?
그냥 때리다가 손도 잡고
왜 손도 맞추고
눈도 맞추고
그러다가 집
그러다가 나중에 결혼하는 거예요.